guys, I'm Jack from Phantasma Paranormal Investigators, and if this is your first time being here, welcome. This is all about spirit communication here, documenting our experiences, thoughts, feelings, that kind of thing, and sharing a few little tips, tricks, and just overall general experience with you guys. So if you like what we do, if you don't want to listen to me ramble for a little bit, then please just go check out another video, or hope you have a good rest of your day. So, manipulation of audio. Does it happen? Is that how it works? Well, it's the general consensus that manipulation of audio is a pretty good theory. It's just not proven as of yet. So manipulation of audio is generally the consensus of how spirit communication works. I mean, you have radio waves and radio frequencies which are coming through on something like a PSB-7, for example, or just on your regular radio that you have on at home. And when you're asking your questions and so on, and you get direct answers through your spirit box, through your PSB-7, or even something as simple like just a simple manual scan dial radio. You know, not even designed for spirit communication, but these work stupendously well. I use this one personally all the time. The radio only costs about £17 on eBay, Amazon, sorry, and it works stupendously well. It's brilliant. So with that, spirit manipulation of audio is not proven, but it is a pretty good theory. So when you're doing your session, your waves are coming through and everything, you ask your direct questions, so on, such as, what is my name? And you may get a few little blips of radio that come in and out, but spirit communication does not happen all the time. We don't know if they're dead people, we don't know if they're maybe interdimensional beings, we don't know if they're aliens, we don't know if they're something else. But they say they're dead, they say they are dead people, but I've had messages come through where I've asked, are you dead? And sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no, sometimes they say there's something completely different. But with the audio that comes through, you know, you may get a few little blips of radio. So you're asking your questions going, what is my name? And they say my name, Jack. Oh, okay, Jack. Or I go, what is on my t-shirt? And they say, Joker. What are the chances of that coming through, you know, directly after? Maybe it could be a coincidence once or twice if you're asking maybe your number question, something like that. If you're asking how many fingers am I holding up, it could be a coincidence. But it cannot happen all the time, it can't. I've asked things where when I've said, can you say my first name and my last name? And it says my first name and my last name in one go. What are the chances of that happening, that they could be talking about another Jack Green that's on the radio? What are the chances of that? Sometimes things could be sorry, there's a fly in here. It could just be a coincidence for some of it, but most of the time it isn't. You're looking for your direct responses. You know, what's the color of my shirt? Can you tell me what your name is? Things like that. Is asking those direct questions, and when you get those direct answers is really exciting, and I like to put it out there to you guys so you can view it for yourself, even skeptics that come here. It's good to approach things with a skeptical mind, for sure. It's really good to approach things with a skeptical mind before you assume that it's paranormal. So it keeps that rational head on when you do this kind of stuff. So how do they do that? Manipulation of audio, very good theory. But again, it's just a theory, it's not proven. But it's the general basis what everybody goes off of when they do this. It's the only kind of reasonable explanation that there is, but like I say, it's not proven. So that can work on something like a PSB-7. So a PSB-7, what it does is that it can scan through radio stations at varying rates of speed, AM, FM, and it can scan through without muting. So that's what that means. So you can scan through on 200 milliseconds, 250, 300, whatever, and you do that and it goes and it scans through very quickly, and you ask your questions, and like as you usually do, you get your responses. But even it can work on something like a manual scan radio, so I could switch this on, and then as I do this, I'll go, hello, is there anybody here, that kind of thing. I'll ask my general questions, and then you get responses out of that sometimes. Doesn't happen all the time. But when I get responses out of this, direct answers to my questions, where I'm spinning the dial with varying speeds and so on, and I get yes, Whereas sometimes I get better communication from this than I actually do from this. This is a manual scan radio, you just spin it yourself and it works stupendously well. If you have one of these and you find that you can spin it and it doesn't mute and you find that you can scan through it, I know with some radios you can scan through and it mutes as you do that, which obviously we don't want. So when you do that, you can have incredible success. Even if you cannot afford a Spirit Box, I know some of these can go for quite a bit of money. These things usually go from around 70 to around 80 on eBay and Amazon. I've seen them go for more like £100 or $100 wherever you are, but that just depends on where you get it from. There's another one I think that's called an SP11, which is, it's kind of like two PSP7s in one. I don't personally care to get one of them just because it doesn't look that good to me and I've not heard very good things about it, but you know, it depends on what you like to work with. Personally, I do like the PSP7, I do. It's what a lot of us first start off using. I do like to use it from time to time, but I don't feel it's the best one you can get. I've actually had a lot more success with, let me just get it for you. So I usually get quite a lot of success from this. It's a Jensen radio. This is a Jensen, I'm squinting my eyes, SAB-55. Now these ones, there's only certain models which you can hack, and what hack means is that you can hack a radio to scan through radio stations without stopping, and that's what that means. But with this, I've had more success from this than I actually have from this. Not saying it doesn't work stupendously well, it definitely does, but with a hacked radio, I don't know why, I just quite like this one. But it depends where you get, like with Spirit Communication, you never know where you're gonna get. You could ask your direct questions and so on one day, and you get direct responses, maybe about good 60, maybe 70% of the time. Then the very next day you might try the same, you get nothing, you just get radio blips. That happens, of course radio blips are gonna come through, it's a scanning radio. But it cannot happen all the time. Those direct answers, if it keeps happening, one question after another, you cannot say that is a coincidence. It definitely isn't a coincidence. How many times I've asked my name and my name comes through right after saying, Jack, nice clear voice, ask again. Can you tell me again, what is my name? Jack, nice clear. You know, it can't continue to happen in quick succession all the time. We've asked questions totally out of the blue where I have, like my grandmother, for example, this is one I like to ask spirits a lot because it's very unlikely that it will come through on the radio. You can ask things such as swear words, you know, when you can ask like, and all that kind of stuff. So if you can ask for that, especially in daytime as well, it's very unlikely those words will ever come through, if ever. So obviously because those words are not allowed to be broadcast. But I usually like to ask for questions such as my age. So like my age, 24, I like to ask for my age. Sometimes I like to ask for what day in February was I born, you know, and I like to ask things such as, like my grandmother, what was my grandmother's nickname, you know, and when I get her nickname come through sometimes, I go, this cannot be radio. So this is what intrigued me wanting to get into this and do this properly. You know, recreationally, I do this recreationally in my spare time and I love doing it and I love putting it out there to you and sharing my thoughts and feelings with you and hearing other people's thoughts on Spirit Communication. I've seen so many people come into this new that have maybe viewed our page or even looked at other videos and like just found this one by chance and just go, thank you for explaining this, whatever. I'm not the best at explaining these things. I'm not a very good talker. I usually prefer to write. I'm a better writer, but I try to explain this the best I can to you. But yeah, if you're just starting out in this, even if you just have just a regular manual scan radio, just try that on FM, AM, it doesn't matter. Just try it and just experiment because you don't know what you'll get unless you try. And there's some people which will never be convinced by this, and you know, there's always going to be skeptics out there, but all you can do is just put what you have out there evidence-wise and let them make their own decision, let them make their own mind up. That's all you can do. You know, some skeptics will always be skeptics even if you show them concrete, solid proof of sessions. Maybe not necessarily anyone in particular, but you can show them hardcore concrete proof and they'll still won't believe it. But I got into this just because I was one of those skeptics and I did not believe in this, and I started to do it and I go, okay, there has to be something to this. This is for sure, this is real. So, you know, dedicated so much to this. I've got my little ghost tattoo right there, which, you know, is kind of a bit of a cute dedication to this. But yeah, that's really all I got to say on like manipulation of audio, if that really does happen. Don't know, but it's really good theory. So, you know, you can get one of these, get one of those. And also, something else I forgot to talk about. I mentioned this in a video a few weeks ago about EVPs. You know, EVPs, voices out of thin air, electronic voice phenomenon. So basically you press record, ask a question, go, is there anybody here with me? With your own ears, you might hear nothing. Then you play it back and it says, I am here with you. You know, you can get things like that, voices out of thin air. So even you could try, even if you have like those old school cassette recorders, I find the older models instead of more digital models tend to work a lot better. You know, a lot of people use a DR60 recorder, which some people say is just a fault with the recorder. I don't know, I can't say, I don't have one, I don't own one. Some of them can go for ridiculous prices up to like 3 or 4 grand, you know, just for a recorder that was made in the 90s. So yeah, that's really all I've got to say on this. If you found this informative at all, then good for you. I personally, sometimes when I look back on these, I kind of go, I do waffle on a little bit. I do apologize for that. But if there's anything you want me to discuss, talk about, whatever, then please feel free to message me or D, or you can go check out Paranormal Apothecary. That advertisement's usually at the end of every one of our videos. And also, if you want some more kind of, since I'm wearing a Joker t-shirt, if you want to go check out some nerdy stuff and some nerdy videos, I do have another channel which is called Theorycraft. If you want to go check that one out, the adverts and everything for that will all be hopefully at the end of this video if I remember, and be down the link in the description below if you want to go check that out. It's all to do with Marvel, DC, comic books, movies, comic book theories, all that kind of stuff. Villains, heroes, you name it, Spider-Man, Batman, every kind of man. So if you want to go check that out, please feel free to. But I'll see you guys in the very next video.